Our walkable downtowns, we really promote our, I mentioned the downtown video, but just having a downtowns that are walkable, friendly people, great shops, great dining. You don't see that everywhere, and our two downtowns continue to grow and to offer new and great things. So that's something that we always promote. Clifton Forge is a top adventure town. For many years, we have worked with Blue Ridge Outdoors, trying to build relationships with that publication. The readership of that magazine is perfect for what we have to offer here in the Alleghany Highlands. Basically, that magazine covers the area between Baltimore and Atlanta, so it's a big area. And every year, just about every year, Clifton Forge is in their Top Adventure Town contest as one of the top adventure towns. We always try our best to push that out and promote it every year, win or lose. If the town has been nominated, we put a big ad in that magazine promoting the town as a top adventure town and congratulating them either on their win or nomination. So this is a really great thing, and it's put Clifton Forge, shine a very bright light on Clifton Forge from a tourism perspective to the outdoor community. I'll move on to scenic drives. I've talked a lot about that, so you've heard that, but we promote all of those. A lot of them come right into downtown Clifton Forge. He mentions those in his Rider Magazine article, which I do encourage you to read, and if you need a copy, just let us know, or we can point you in the direction. And then the last thing I want to mention on this slide is urban trails. The town has a wonderful group of trails that go meander throughout the community. You don't see that a lot of times, but it's great. And with the sensory trail and with all the trails that are kind of going through, we're trying to shine a brighter light on that. Lacey just put together a really cool video for the sensory trail behind the School of the Arts. They got thousands of views and a lot of good interaction with that. So we're really trying to, we're always promoting the trails in the county and outside with the beautiful mountain views and all that, and that's great. But the town has an incredible trail system within the town limits. And that's something that it takes a different angle on it, and it's something that we want to promote as well. Next slide. All right, so I want to go on just to tourism co-op mini grants. As part of our marketing budget every year, we apply for funding through the Alleghany Foundation for our marketing efforts. Probably last year when I applied for the grant, built in a little bit of funding to help tourism-based businesses in a community, because a lot of times in a small community, advertising prices are high, and it's hard for those businesses to take that gamble and pay for that ad that costs so much money. So we wanted to create a line item in our budget for co-op mini grants for tourism-based businesses. In 2023, the Chamber covered the cost of advertising for 7 tourism-based businesses, multiple community events, and more that totaled an approximate cost of $11,000. Of those 7 businesses, 5 of them were located in Clifton Forge, and that cost came out to about $7,000 in advertising costs covered through the Chamber's marketing budget for tourism-based businesses in Clifton Forge. We also marketed 2 community events with this funding. One of those was in Clifton Forge. It was the Arts Community Celebration, and that we donated $1,500 in advertising and marketing support to help out that event. In 2024 so far, we've had a tourism photo shoot at a local Clifton Forge business, which resulted in a feature in Virginia Living magazine and others. We continue to support the Arts Community Celebration. Again, I mentioned we hosted the Travel Writer with Rider Magazine, who definitely frequented many locations in Clifton Forge, and we plan to support numerous other organizations as they promote shopping this holiday season. Next slide. All right, I want to talk a little bit more about the signage and wayfinding that I had touched on briefly earlier. We've got phase 1, phase 2, and what's currently happening, we're calling phase 3A of the signage and wayfinding project. These numbers are everything specific to Clifton Forge. For these projects, the ongoing signage, the Chamber has applied and managed the grants in the amount of $220,700, all directly for signage in Clifton Forge. That's happened over the last several years. This includes, as you can see there's several interstate signage as well that these grants have covered the 3-year cost of. So if you look down to the cost breakdown there, that's just kind of some of the different areas. That's the exact cost. That's all grant funding from either the Alleghany Foundation or DHCD, all directly spent in Clifton Forge. And I wanted to put this signage kind of map up here. If you see in the top left, that's phase 1. up there, and then you have the kiosk that you see somewhere in the middle here. It's phase 2. And then we had talked about phase 3A, which is currently under process, or currently working through, is the downtown signage, which will be these here, and then these parking signs as well. Chuck has been working with the chamber on that, and it's so wonderful to work with him through that process, and we're so thankful for the support of the town of Clifton Forge. But this is a great thing for our community, and we are so excited to see how it positively impacts the Alleghany Highlands. Next slide. Small business and nonprofit support. This is something I'm excited to talk about. You know, the chamber is continuing. We want to increase the ways that we support small businesses and nonprofits. Like I said, increase networking opportunities. I mentioned that we're wanting to hold at least a minimum of 6 business after hours events and 6 professional development events as well. Merchant support. I'll talk about the merchant meetup event that we have next Thursday and probably the next slide. But a lot of merchant support on a community-wide level, but providing these network opportunities, the professional development. I mentioned the marketing. We have QuickBooks. We're planning to do some stuff with artificial intelligence because that's getting crazy. You know, all the different areas. We actually surveyed the people that attended our marketing workshop recently to see what kind of workshops they would like to see so that we could really meet the needs of our business community and hold those. We want to bounce back and forth all throughout the county each time we hold one of those events. Grant support, as I mentioned, I've done a lot of grant recommendations for people, business owners in the last 6 months or so. A lot of research, working with several right now. A lot of people don't know that the chamber's there for that kind of support, so we definitely want to make that known. Moving on to the Alleghany Highlands Visitor Guide, all tourism-based businesses, and that includes just, I mean, a regular any restaurant, any shopping, anything that a tourist or a visitor may go into. They're automatically listed in that visitor guide, and as I mentioned, we gave out 30,000 of those last year, and we'll continue to be at those numbers. From a marketing standpoint, we always do the chamber member spotlights. As you can see, these are old ones, and Lacey does a really good job, much better than me, with what she's put out recently, but we're doing a really good job of getting someone out every single week featuring a new business in the best way we possibly can. We put those on social media and in our newsletter. We try to do one every week. And then the Small Business Recovery Grant Program, this is something that happened during COVID. Coming out of that, I just wanted to include that. That was something that numerous businesses in the area took part in, especially in Clifton Forge, which the Chamber applied for funding and managed the grant in partnership with Alleghany County. This was years ago. In response to the pandemic, funding provided support to help businesses adapt to the negative impacts of the pandemic. We applied for that grant and managed that grant. And that's something that we're really proud of. We're able to try and do everything we could to help our businesses get up off the ground when COVID was really hurting them. Next slide. All right, so we're excited about the first community-wide merchant meetup event. This is something, to my knowledge, and I may be wrong, but the first merchant meeting that has been community-wide. We're so excited about this because if you look at the bottom of this invitation, we have the full support of the City of Covington, Old Town Covington, Clifton Forge Main Street, and the town of Clifton Forge, and the chamber is co-sponsoring as well. This is not a chamber event. I like to say this is an event that is co-sponsored by all of those entities at the bottom. That's an exciting thing. I mean, we're really trying to encourage collaboration across the community. Businesses and Clifton Forge can help businesses in Covington and vice versa. This is an event that is it's a great opportunity for for businesses to get right in the ear of local leaders, elected officials, your mayor, your town manager, your chamber of commerce, your EDC. It's a way for us to ask businesses, what are your wins? What are your losses? Where do you need support? How can we help you? You have that direct line through this event to tell us that, and we can then go to work and do what we can to best support you. So that's why it's so exciting. First one is at Coochie's, but I've already talked to Wendy about being in the underground here the very next month. We're going to rotate between both communities every month. This is something that we want to get everybody involved in. And like I said, this is going to be exciting. A downtown Covington business owner came to me with this idea, and I said, just knowing that he was a business owner in Covington, I said, this is a great idea. I said, do you mind if I talk to Clifton Forge, because I want to include that community as well. And I kid you not, he said, absolutely, that's a great idea. We are better together. And I said, well, I'm going to put that on the invitation, and right there it is. So we are better together. This is something that we're very excited about. If you're a business owner or a nonprofit, we encourage you to come. It's going to be structured very much like the first 45 minutes is more conversation around the things I just talked about, with the last 45 minutes being a networking opportunity. If you have any questions about this, please call the chamber. We are excited about this and encourage you to come. Next slide. Electric vehicle chargers in downtown Clifton Forge. This is something that I'm excited to talk about, and I hope I can, Chuck. I'm currently in a leadership program called the Virginia Rural Leadership Institute, and as part of that, I have to have a community impact project that I bring back to my community. So I'm excited to say that we have been working to bring the first public electric vehicle chargers into the Alleghany Highlands, and more specifically downtown Covington and downtown Clifton Forge. This is going to be a great thing because we're now going to pop up on GPS maps of people that are passing through the interstate that is highly traveled right through our communities as having electric vehicle chargers. It'll bring people into our communities that may not have otherwise come into our community. And the exciting thing about it is the goal was to put this in or around the downtowns so that people could, once you charge, you've got to do something. You're going to be bored out of your mind if not. So why not take a few steps just to this restaurant right here in downtown Clifton Forge, or this great shop in downtown Clifton Forge, and spend some time in our community, spend some money in our community, and then go back and grab your car. So this is something we're excited about. I've been working with, obviously, the town of Clifton Forge. Chuck has been just wonderful to work with. He has been so responsive. He's allowed me to really, as part of my project, kind of take the lead on it, and he's just been there for a great resource for me. We have applied for the grant. We've been partnering with the Roanoke Valley Alleghany Regional Commission, Virginia Clean Cities, and then of course the town and the city to make this happen. The grants will provide chargers to us free of charge, and so we are excited about that. There will be the 2-hour charger, so it's perfect to charge up and then head downtown and grab a bite to eat or do some shopping. But this, as far as I know, would be the first public electric vehicle chargers in our region, and it will undoubtedly drive new tourists who may not have otherwise entered our community into our region. So this is something that we are very excited about. Next slide. I think this is my last slide, but just some local sponsorships and things that we've sponsored throughout the community. This is not all of them, but just some things that the Chamber tries to budget for to sponsor each year: the Clifton Forge Downtown Market, the Stars and Stripes Ceremony, the Alleghany Highlands Triathlon, Clifton Forge Fireworks Show, new event being the Historic Masonic Theater's Masquerade Gala, the Arts Community Celebration, and more. If you have a community event that you would like to see supported, definitely let us know about that. I'll do everything I can to, and the Chamber will do everything it can to support as much as it possibly can. Next slide. I think that's it. Before I close, Gail wanted me to share our next, or the next community gathering is going to have a focus on branding, kind of branding the town, and she asked me to be a part of those conversations, and I am very excited to be a part of those conversations. I was so happy she asked me. I have a little bit of a background in branding and marketing in general, so I think the point is I would encourage you to come to that. You're not branding Clifton Forge as this singular destination, but it's more about educating the local community on all the aspects of what I just talked about, what's right here in your back door, so that you can talk about that. You can be an ambassador for tourism. You can be an ambassador for people who may be looking to relocate to the area. And doing that and participating in this branding community gathering, I think, will be beneficial. So I just wanted to leave that little tidbit before I finished. And thank you so much for having me this evening. I hope I wasn't too long.
Questions? A few questions, Josh?
If you got them.
This group always has questions. Anybody have questions?
I don't have a question, but my brother's in the office for section real quick. I don't have a question, but my brother lives in Virginia Beach, and he was at the dentist the other day and reading through a magazine. The article popped up about the Alleghany Highlands, and I thought that was pretty cool. He sent that. I don't know why I told you that, but hey, good work.
We tried to do our best, and like I said, there's that time where we've been in Times Square, and on the Good Morning America board. They called us one year and we're like, hey, we're trying to sell the last spot, we'll give it to you for a little bit of nothing. And I'm like, sold. So it's always great to hear those stories. Thank you for sharing.
this on? Yes. I just want to thank you for everything you're doing for this community. You have made it so clear for us and so community oriented. You know, I've talked to, as a business owner, my husband and I have been talking lately, and as adults in this area, we have told our high schoolers and middle schoolers that they're going to go to school together. But the adults haven't done that, and I think it's really neat to finally be doing that. So thank you very much.
Absolutely, thank you so much.
Anything else? Anybody else? Okay, well,
Thank you guys so much.